Hey gods and goddesses, on June 1st, 2025, Venus is conjuncting Chiron in Aries. What a powerful time for us to be alive. What a powerful time for us to invoke healing within our own hearts, within our own identities. Our levels of self-worth, finally, they go up. Our levels of understanding our values, understanding our lack mindset, scarcity mindset, feeling like we are not enough, feeling like we are broken in places. This is time for us to finally reclaim our own beauty, the beauty of self, the beauty of pain, love. This is a sacred love invitation back to the self. And I love that. I love any form that has to do with healing. This is a very powerful portal for us. Make sure you mark this down on your calendar. And also, we will be having a sextile to Mars in Leo. So we have Venus in Aries, which is a fire type energy, making its way to Mars and Leo. Okay, everything feels fired up. This is a bold action that we must take. This feels as though we are initiating some type of courage within ourselves and our identity. This is finally a time where we can boldly love ourselves, or boldly look at ourselves in a position to be loved, to be cared for, to be valued, to be nurtured, and most importantly, giving that to ourselves again. This is a transit that can help you act upon your healing. Really take this seriously. Do your mantras, do your self-care and self-love routines. This is very important when it comes to how we are expressing ourselves through creativity, our sexuality, bravery, and even our passions. This is making us brave again, brave to be the self, brave to love yourself. Listen, in this reality, if you love yourself, you are considered dangerous, because no one can put places and images and things like that on you that they fall flat on the floor, because they do not hold value to your systems. This is time for you to create the systems that actually matter, that's actually fired up. You get up and you love who you are. You love who you see in the mirror. Even through all the pain, even through all the brokenness, you are happy to be who you are. You will face parts of yourself that you once feared. And it's time for you to freaking dare to be bold, dare to be daring, express yourself very boldly. You are ready to make peace with your past and even creating art through it, legacy. You can experience passion. These are so many things that can happen. Well, so many things can happen. We are experiencing this type of energy. Any way that you want to let it out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be through some type of creativity or some type of fired action. Maybe getting back in the gym again, maybe playing with children, finding that inner child. But you are finally forgiving yourself. You are finally loving yourself again, individually, obviously in different parts of our charts. I'm going to go over every sign. Make sure you listen for your rising sign and then your sun and moon sign, because obviously those are most important. But your rising sign is the most accurate. This is finally time for you to act, finally time for you to forgive yourself, or the versions of yourself you feel like we're lacking, we're at scarcity or broken or, unlovable. Finally, you can love those parts of yourself again, and you are finally ready to be who you are and step into the stage of self, step into the love of self, because when you love yourself, as I said, you're freaking dangerous, because you can attract things that you were not able to attract before, because you are finally understanding that I deserve more. I deserve more wealth. I deserve more love. I deserve more happiness. I deserve better relationships. Whatever you feel as though you deserve, you do deserve it. And now it's time for you to act upon it, and you will act upon it. And I love this for every one of us, because this is an individual realization, and we can all use that right now. So let's go over each sign. And of course, I'm going to start with you, Aries. So, Aries, obviously this conjunction is going to be happening within your natal first house. Finally, you are healing your identity, but Chiron has been in your sign, of course, Aries, for many, many years. The past 6 years, Chiron has been in your sign, and this has been a wound that lives within you, and it also feels like it has defined you. Right? And for years, you have tried to prove your self-worth through performance, through action, it could be through creativity, but just through your sense of confidence and boldness, even aggression in some type of way. I'm sure that you have reached the lines for having to be aggressive in order to prove who you are and prove yourself. And it's now time for you to really get underneath that and not use that as a sense of fuel, but use a sense of fuel as like, I am worthy of love because I am love. I think that underneath it all, it's It's simple to love you, Aries, and it doesn't have to be complex, if that makes sense. This transit really cracks open your armor. Venus wants you to beautify the parts of yourself that didn't make you feel beautiful, or you never felt beautiful for, and now fall in love with all of your rawness, what you say, what you do, your own brain structure, how your brain is working, how it doesn't work like everyone else. If you think of self, that's good. This is now time for you to really meet the world with the real you, unguarded, uncharted. You are really unpolished, Aries, in some type of way. You know, Saturn is in your sign as well. Now it's really time for you to get serious about who you are, because you will crack, you will literally fold, you will do all types of things when Saturn is in your sign, but you will come to have some type of self-worth when Saturn is in your sign, and you will feel radiantly whole again after, the next 3 years. But this is the first spark of understanding that, hey, me too, I too deserve to feel love. I too deserve to feel valued. And I too am worthy of everything that I am, just because I am. You are the I am, Aries. And now I feel it's time for you to really get in tune with where would you like for your life to go. Truly, Saturn, well, you cannot do anything with Saturn in your sign if you have no self-worth and you have no worth to go after the things that you want. You must embody so much more to become so much more. Chiron is in your sign for a little bit longer, but once it moves on, Aries, finally you will have that sense of self that truly always belongs to you, right? The confidence is there. You will not feel more beautiful than you will after June 1st. And it's time for you to really act upon the beauty of the self. And not the self that just, how you look. You look great, Aries, but also the self that is inside of you. The one that is presenting out into the outer world. Your inner light. These are things that must be shown. Okay, Aries, so that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aries. Okay, so let's move to Taurus. Taurus, you will be experiencing, I love this too for you, Taurus, right? Because Venus is your ruler. So you are feeling yoked and pushed, but behind the scenes, right? Because this conjunction is happening within your natal 12th house. And this is healing the invisible pain, the past pain, the pain that is in your subconscious, things that are deeply wounded. But it's hidden to others, is hidden to you only when you are really this is the healing that is unconscious, if that makes sense. And you truly have to be conscious enough to go over what has truly healed you. And I feel like shadows around abandonment, scarcity, even lost loves, even like having shameful desires in some type of way. Venus and Chiron is going to ask you to get in places with the places that you've buried, the places that you're trying to hide. This is a time for solitude, of course. This is a time for meditation. This is a time for dream traveling, having those dreams, releasing, most importantly, releasing the overwhelmness that you feel, releasing the overwhelm that you feel upon your self-worth. This is a really sacred time for you, Taurus. I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can, but because this is hidden and no one actually sees this, and this is something that you actually have to uncover and release, it's very sacred. It's very, very sacred. And your healing is karmic in some type of way, but it's also an invitation to unlock a lot of spiritual gifts that you have. So you have to forgive yourself, Taurus, for everything that you have been through, everything that other people have put you through, and let love reach you, and not through silence. Yes, actually through silence. Anything happening within the 12th house, we must be silent and present and really allow ourselves to feel. But allowing yourself to feel very, very powerfully, and allowing yourself to release it all. Because even when you don't see, even when you don't see what's hurting you, or you're not aware of the things that you have let go on for so long, you are still worthy of love. You're worthy of compassion. You're worthy of self-love. And first, you must give it to yourself, Taurus. And that's really hard for, us to understand, that the beauty is truly in the invisible. The beauty is in the unseen. Though others may not see it, because Venus is your ruler, they will see it when you learn to see it and accept it, Taurus. I hope that you understand me, because this is something that's deeply hidden within the self, and only you can come to terms with it through your own silence and through your own ways of going over your subconscious mind. But that's why I said it's very important for you to journal. It's very important for you to have some type of releasing mechanism, write, listen to music, sing, do something that you can express through passion or creativity. But this is a release, Taurus. Obviously, this is going to be happening behind closed doors. But you are finally healing the invisible pain, Taurus. And I love this for you. I just love this for you. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Taurus. Okay, so moving on to Gemini. So Gemini. I love saying Gemini like this because Jupiter is in your sign. So we know that Gemini is experiencing so much freaking knowledge right now, and their minds are running at 100 times more faster than all of us. So for you, Gemini, this conjunction is happening in your natal 11th house. You are healing through your community, through your friendship groups, through the collective mindset, through the collective consciousness. You are healing through groups of people, through your friends. Do they see you or do they not is the question. We are not playing with other people anymore, Gemini. We're not going to surround ourselves with people, that feel like they misunderstand you or you feel rejected in some type of way. It is time for you to now reconnect with your soul tribe, your soul people, the people that that see you, that really connect with you. You are building allies, or Venus wants you to really attract those allies, or to really see your allies for gifts, or see your allies for gifts. See your allies as something sacred. The people that understand you. This is very sacred. We don't have many people in life that we can call our tribe, or we can call our soul family. So Venus really wants you to see that as gifts. You know what I'm saying? And not at the sense of, hey, I need someone in order to feel seen, or it's not a fault. You're building relationships with people, and not many people can experience, brotherhood and sisterhood this way. So please see this as a gift, Gemini. I think that first you have to let go of these old identities that keep you stuck in these friendships that you keep you stuck in friendships that you are geez, I can't get it out, Gemini, but have you believing that you must be this one way, or even a couple of ways, in order for you to be loved. Hey, I love you this one way, Gemini, and that's the way you must stay. Absolutely not. You are forever growing. You are definitely growing with Jupiter in your sign. You're growing at a very rapid pace, and you do not have to conform to anything in order to be accepted. You are your own individual person, Gemini, and the people that you choose to hang around with is your own choice. You are here to teach and heal others through your voice, through your authenticity, through your truth, especially with Jupiter in your sign, as I keep saying. And right now, Mercury is in your sign as well. You are healing through speech. You are loved. Should be your mantra, like looking in the mirror, Gemini. I am loved for exactly who I am, exactly who I am, exactly who I am. I don't have to conform, as I said, because that sometimes in the 11th house, when we are, around groups of people, we feel like we have to shrink ourselves. We feel like, oh my God, I can't show everything that I know. No, be yourself, Gemini. This is a real invitation for you to accept those parts of yourself that other people made you feel like you have to hide. And the people that are your true soul family, you see them, you know them, allow them to empower you, allow them to see your gifts and watch your gifts expand through being around like-minded people, through hanging out around like-minded people, through building a real brotherhood, a real sisterhood. I love that for you, Gemini. I truly do. And remember, I am loved for exactly who I am. That's it, literally, and laugh. Okay, Gemini, that's all that I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Gemini. Hey, Cancer. Hey, Cancer. Hey, Cancer. You are about to have Jupiter in your sign 8 days after this transit. So this is going to be beautiful. Oh, my goodness. I'm just very happy for your summer vacation, Cancer. So Cancer, you are experiencing this conjunction within your natal 10th house. This is healing your role, your public role, the role that you have to, your career, your life path. This wound is really touching on your sense of success, your sense of visibility, your sense of legacy, what you can actually do. You have to feel, you have to be felt. You have to be felt. You have to feel, listen, how do I say this? Your healing will be your direction in life and will be what other people see about you. But that's what the world needs. They need your healing aspects. They need your nurturing aspects. You are anything that feels undervalued, anything that feels like you have to be pressured to, have achievement, or you have to buckle up and not be so emotional. You have to buckle up and not show your vulnerability is not your sense of direction, Cancer. Your sense of direction are to bring people together, bring homes together. Actually, with the 10th house being in Aries, you are the leader of your own creativity. You are the leader of your own legacy. You are on top. And anything that makes you feel as though you're not on top is kind of not the direction that you want to go in, right? But we all have our different direction in life. But this Venus conjuncting Aries is really healing your relationship to recognition, to purpose, to you now leading and learning how to lead with the heart, not with the head, but with the heart. Okay, it's not like you don't have to use, you can use it as armor, of course, Cancer, right? But it's a part of you. It is who you are, and it is what people need from you. And I know it's very hard to just be, emotional. It's very hard to just try to overachieve for people to love us, or try to be more for people to love us. I don't want them to see that part of myself. I just want them to see this part. But you have to let everyone see all of your parts, because it is very healing. It is very lovable. Like your public presence, it's more valuable and it's more like potent and most powerful when it's authentic, Cancer. Okay, so say this affirmation in the mirror. I lead with love, not perfection. I lead with love, not perfection. Love is the highest frequency. Perfection is perfection is a Virgo thing. Cancer, you are really leading through these emotional ties, and the moon shifts every 2.5 days, right? So every month, you are experiencing different moods, different things, and people are too. And so that's why it's very important for you to align yourself to the path that is you really value, and that other people will value within you as well. No more being afraid to be who you are. Lead with your heart, not your head. And you can do both, right? You can do both, obviously, with Aries being your the ruler of your 10th house. But listen, what I'm saying is you must learn to heal yourself and heal your own identity and heal the parts of yourself that you want to hide, because you have to embody and teach others how to do this for themselves. And Jupiter in your sign will give you so many different ways, so much ancestral knowledge, so much love and light and happiness, because Jupiter is exalted in your sign, making you feel good about who you are and good about the things that you know. Your emotions play a huge part in your makeup and everybody else's makeup as well. This is how we manifest. This is how we become something different. This is how we visit different realms. This is how we really embody who we are, by feeling. And it's really important for you, Cancer. But hey, when Jupiter goes in your sign, you'll really get it. You'll really start to see like, wow, I have so much information. I have so much knowledge. People need this. And you will now start to feel like, hey, I must be valued for this type of thing. I must be valued for this type of thing. And I love this for you, Cancer. Yeehaw. So Cancer, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, now we're on to Leo. Hey, Leo. So Leo, you're going to be experiencing this conjunction within your natal 9th house. Wow, very powerful. We have Venus and we have Chiron within your 9th house. This is healing your belief systems. I feel like systems in life are very, very important, because they're what we live by, what we stick to for a majority of our life. Should we? Sometimes, right? But when Venus is up there, I do think that this is a value system that keeps us in the lack mindset and scarcity, tying us to these wounded beliefs, especially with Chiron up there as well, tying us to these wounded beliefs. It is time for you to let go of the things that you have carried, religion, education, anything that you feel like involves belief or purpose that does not align for what you feel right now. You are if it makes you feel less than, especially if it makes you feel less than the next person and less than, the last version of yourself, it is probably not something that you should be believing in. It is really time for you to start healing the ties with confidence, with courage, and believing yourself again. In love, in life, especially, like, you are the heart. You are the heart. Mars is in your sign as well, right? And Mars is getting you to be creative, brave. You are really need to believe in something higher, your higher self. If you want to believe in something, Leo, please believe in your higher self and believe in yourself. You are restoring the sweetness into your religion. You are restoring the sweetness into your belief system. You are letting yourself become the spiritual warrior who uses wisdom, strength, heartbreak as tools of navigation and liberation. Right, Leo? You are the heart. And the truth is your teacher. Honestly, your truth, this is what you say in the mirror. Your truth is sacred and it sets me free. My truth is sacred and it sets me free, because the things that you truly choose to believe in should empower you, should empower the next version of yourself to be better, to be happier, to be stronger. Leo is ruled by the heart, okay? And so this really triggers something in you, because Aries is Mars is ruling over Aries. This really triggers something in you to be bold, to be daring in some type of way. We don't have to be aggressive, no, but we have to take back our light. And that's what it is, Leo, taking back your light. And when it comes to these belief systems, letting these belief systems go that make you feel unwanted, within your own vessel. This is your life experience, and if you choose to adjust what you believe in, it is all up to you. Believe in yourself if you want to believe in anything, as I always say. Okay, Leo, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Leo. Hey, Virgo. So Virgo, wow, you are experiencing this conjunction in your natal 8th house. Okay, so this is a call for shadow work. I think that your openness is your alchemy. You being open can alchemize a lot of experiences. You being vulnerable can alkaline a lot of experiences. This pain is very deep. Anything within the 8th house is very, very deep, and it's rooting in trust. What I mean by like the 8th house, it's like this wound that has to do with betrayal, that has to do with your own sexuality, that has to do with these emotional entanglements, that have to do with trust. These are really deep wounds, right? These are ones that we're like, hey, I'm not doing that again. It really gets us to have this one-track mind. And for you, Virgo, please, I want you to understand that K2 is in your sign. And so you are having more enlightenment when it comes to the self, when it comes to your approach to certain things. You are now starting to see that things are divinely led in order to teach you something. They're teaching you things about yourself that, hey, Virgo, you are actually the maiden. You actually are as pure as can be, or you can be as pure as can be, but you can also be not pure, if that makes sense, right? You are meant to heal through your inner psyche. You are meant to heal through what I mean by not pure, let me go back over that again. It means like you can take one thing and really analyze it forever, and you push everybody away. Don't be like this, Virgo, because you are starting to see with K2 in your sign that everything has a purpose, a mission, and you need to get the hell out of shame, get out of guilt, because things like this happen to everyone in life. It may not be the same type of experience, but we do experience betrayal and trust. But as I said, being in the 8th house, this is very deep. Things that you didn't know, that just comes to the shadow, and now this is a betrayal. You are learning that vulnerability is not a weakness. It isn't. It is a sacred power that you have. Let your heart be open in really safe spaces. As I said, don't take one thing and really run around with it, right? You want to take people's actions. You want to take the things that people say and really analyze them. We want to look at people's actions. That's what we're talking about, Aries. The action that you take. Do you truly love me, right? And this is now, your shame is becoming your strength, Virgo. You are no longer needing to be shameful about sexual experiences, about things, because this is really, really deep, Virgo. I will say, but truly, You do not need to hide anything out of shame. We love you. I love you, Virgo. And if you cannot find it in yourself to love yourself or to forgive yourself or to forgive others, because this is the house of shared resources and shared intimacy, you have to find it in your deeply, deeply within your heart to forgive yourself for even acknowledging or even being in that situation. Truly, you have to understand that everything that you're experiencing is for a purpose, and you will start your experience. As K2 is moving up degrees in your sign, you will start to really open up your heart again to safe places, to safe people, and it will feel very scary at first, like you have never done this before or never felt this before. But please do not run away from intimacy. Learn how to really be vulnerable and really sit in emotions that are uncomfortable, but they're trying to teach you something. And you are learning through this, Virgo. And you're learning because you are, like I said, you're very pure. And you cannot understand things that are not very pure, right? But what makes you not be pure is when someone does something to you and you immediately it feels like everybody in the world would do this to you, and that's not true. Do unto others as others will do unto you, right? We can only live by our own value systems. We cannot expect other people to live through our value systems. And that's where, Virgo, you have to really understand this, that even though you share sexual experiences, you swap spit with someone else, they do not really owe you anything but what they can give you. And you have to give yourself what you can give yourself. And through with K2 being your sign, these are spiritual practices. These are you trying to really get in contact with why you're here, Virgo, what you're meant to do here. What is this relationship actually teaching you? What is this teaching you? These deep intimacies, even when it comes to debt and bills and all of these things, and that bring us shame and a little bit of parts of ourselves. We're like, dang, why didn't I pay that? That's this keeping me from everything, but it's truly not that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's when I say it's not that serious, I mean that everything in this house can be alchemized. You will choose. Your openness can be alchemy, if that makes sense. You can actually turn your pain into something within this house, and you can really move mountains in this house and rise up as a phoenix. Aries ruling over this house is very powerful in itself, but this is a very hot and passionate courage that must come from you, Virgo. And it will, by you looking at yourself in the mirror and really seeing like, wow, my heart is so pure that I must do things like, contact certain, if you like different deities and you appreciate different gods or different, living, gods or goddesses, asking for protection for your heart, for your mind, for everything that you cannot physically protect because you're so pure. You are really getting in top with your spirituality. Please do that. And that's how you really, truly not guard your heart, but you see things. You start to really open up that intuition. I talk so much during this, Virgo. I hope that you really understand that. But that's all I have for you, Virgo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Virgo. Okay, Libra. So Libra, wow. Libra, you are experiencing this conjunction within your natal 7th house, right? Wow, you are healing these relationship wounds, and these are wounds that have to do with other people. This can be your marriage partner, this can be best friends, exes, healing from exes. Oh God, with Venus in there probably. But you are really, trying to heal the dynamics, get to the core of the healing within the dynamics of relationships, whether it's codependency, whether it's abandonment, whether it's projection, whether it's, other people's past relationships and they're coming up and you, or maybe you are you were in a relationship and you bring up something from the past. This is really you starting to see past that, and really these are memories that can resurface as well, and having you really go over them to see, I won't say, to see what went wrong, but it's more so like what you need to let go of. Everything that has happened in the past that have to do with relationships, because obviously with K2 in there, this has not been a good time, the past couple of years for relationships. But now there's so many things happening. Saturn moving into your sign, deepening your 7th house, deepening your wisdom. This is you now trying to let go, or asking, actually Venus in Chiron is asking you to let go of these relationship wounds, as they are soul lessons, right? You're meant to learn through other people, Libra. That is literally Libra, right? You are balancing out. Libra rules relationships. Libra rules unionship, right? And so also the truth, and it wasn't a punishment, Libra, and that's the most important thing to understand. These are not punishment, these are actual blessings. These things were meant to happen and teach you some stuff so that you can teach others these things. You need to let love in. Love is there. Love is there, Libra. And through action, do they love you? By putting in action, and this has to happen on new terms. This has to happen where you are now seeing yourself, because Venus is your ruler as well. So seeing yourself do different parts of the greatness, but also different parts of the stuff that you want to hide and keep hidden. Even your own belief systems or own system when it comes to value and morals. You are now rewriting that relationship with yourself, or what partnership actually means. Saturn in your sign will get you for the next couple of years to really start rewriting these parts of yourself, where maybe you want to have a relationship with someone older, someone elder, someone who actually has wisdom. Maybe you want to just be alone, because Saturn can cause some type of detachment in some type of way. But also it's like you are attracting love that mirrors your healed self. So you have to really, like I said, look at yourself, Libra, and look at the relationships that you've been in, and not so much focus on the relationships that other people been in and how they're so deserving to have you and Obviously they're deserving to have you. That's why they came into your life. You don't have to continuously think about that or continuously project that outwards or say that outwards. Be happy and be very, very content in who you are and what you are attracting love for. Libra is a very lovable sign. Many people chase after Libra because it's very charming. And so, people who are Libras actually think they love me because I am this, I am beautiful, I'm this. Of course, everybody wants to be around me because I can get along with anyone. I can do this. Libra is a very intelligent sign. Everyone will be chasing after you, right? But it's using the wisdom and using your discernment to see, wait, that just because that looks good, or that person is in a higher or better position, or that person can get me in a place, that's not love. That isn't love, Libra. Love is truly acting like you love the person. They are acting, they are putting in effort, they are doing so many things for you, and they're showing you that they love you. And that's where you see the discernment, because if you love yourself, Libra, they'll do what you love as well, right? Yes, what I'm saying is okay, let's say Libra, you like to I don't know, what's something Libra, you like self-care routines that require music or that require art. They will literally set up a space for you that you can have that type of independence and self-love and that type of isolation if you need to. That is what I'm talking about. They create spaces for you to be yourself, for you to see yourself in the relationship, but not just as smashed and mashed up with another person. You have your own identity in these relationships, and that's the type of relationships that you will and want to attract. Okay, with Saturn there as well. Okay, and yes, Libra, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Libra. Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio, you are experiencing this conjunction in your natal 6th house. And so this is healing through devotion. This is healing through sacred service in some type of way, right? These wounds are lying within your daily success or your daily activity, and maybe you can feel unappreciated, overworked, you can feel disconnected with your sacred service. You can feel disconnected with your body, even because you maybe are overworked, over giving, you're over pouring into others when you should be pouring into yourself. And now Venus within your 6th house wants you to beautify your daily routine. Reconnect into meaningful rituals that actually are going to make you feel empowered and embodying this sense of yourself, Scorpio, that can be giving but not over giving, that could be seen but also don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? It's you deserve pleasure, not just productivity, not just what can you do for me. You deserve people who want to give you massages, who want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Venus is talking about relationships. So you deserve that type of environment, even work environment. Listen, my mental health comes first. If you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck either. And not saying it like that, you know, but Aries can say it like that. But it's just learning that, hey, my wounds and things like that, they need healing. And this is not very healing for me. And I need to listen to what my body needs. And I need to listen to what is actually I see and what's going on. And so this is a moment where you need to have a deep conversation with your body. You know, you need to have because we have a self, we have a higher self, we have a childlike self, and we also have a physical vessel. This is your physical vessel, and you need to listen to what it needs and treat your freaking body and treat your schedule as it's your temple. Infuse all of your routines and infuse all of the, you know, self-care, self-love routines with the mindset of I am worthy. And I want you to say this to yourself: my service is sacred, and I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of rest. I'm worthy of rest. And this can be disconnecting from different people, because, you know, the sixth house can be us, you know, talking to friends and talking every day, you know what I'm saying? But Venus here, it's like, hey, these are the type of relationships that I want. They're gonna care for me, they're gonna, you know, bring me pleasure in some type of way, not only sexual pleasure, Scorpio, because that's draining as well. You know, you don't want people who constantly drain those parts of yourself. You want them to revitalize those parts of yourself and really listen to what is going on, because your body is talking to you. You know, with this conjunction, your body will be talking to you, and you will be feeling like, okay, I need rest. I need some type of rest. And I do feel like you need to treat your body with love and infuse any type of routine that you need to infuse in order to appreciate your temple, and now start to see, okay, this is my temple, and I'm just giving it up and giving it away, or having it be overworked. Who is that actually hurting? Me. And now it's time for you to not hurt yourself, to love yourself enough to know when you're hurting. And, you know, like I said, I love this conjunction for everyone, but for you, obviously, I love this because, listen, like, I'm tired of working. Like, who is not tired of working? Aren't you tired of working, Scorpio? Who the hell wants to continuously get up and go to a stupid ass job? No one wants to do that shit. Everyone wants to put, like, effort and care into themselves and finding their own path and finding their own way to service the world or to service some parts of themselves. I always say the most important things in life is self-mastery, self-acceptance. Like, that is the key of life. We're not meant to be overworked and do all of these things and have our hand out for everyone else and never put our hand to our hearts, never put our hands to our minds, never put our hands to the ground. Please get in contact with any sacred services that you would like to, experience or get into, Scorpio. You know, many different ones. You know, with Pluto being in your sign, you can uncover a lot of, Pluto, being a ruler, you can uncover a lot of sacred practices that you have to sit in silence to get. You have to really reflect in order to get. You have to really let those versions of yourself die where it wants to help everyone else other than itself. Okay, Scorpio, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Scorpio. Hey, Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, you are experiencing this conjunction in your natal 5th house. And this is a healing of your inner child. I mean, godly, can the child come out in place, Sagittarius? You know, I think this one hits the heart hard, obviously, because this is the house of the heart. This is a house of, the inner child. This is a house of joy, creativity, and any type of, and also romance. So any type of creative blocks that you may be experiencing, any love wounds, any shame around your expression. Venus in Chiron conjuncting is asking you to honor your inner child. There's a part of you that wants to freaking dance, play, fall in love without fear. It wants to really just spin around and jump around and just cartwheel. Like, there's a part of yourself that wants to be that explorer. So what is a part of yourself that you are calling too much, but it's actually just your magic? It's actually your magic coming to light, because our inner child is alive, Sagittarius, and it sparks a lot of joy and creativity, all these ideas and fun. 5th house is a house of Dharma. 5th house is a house of great things. It's experiencing the self-expression that makes us want to be that makes us fired up. We're literally passionate when we're in the 5th house. And so for you, Sagittarius, you have to let your joy be raw and untamed. And you have to allow yourself to have fun. And you have to allow yourself to be creative in any type of way that you like to be creative, right? With children in some type of way. Teach them. It's time for fun. Let's go out. Let's go play. Let's go be ourselves. Let's express ourselves without a freaking barrier. Always teach them, of course, to be respectful. But you have an authentic self-expression, and these are the things that you have to get in contact with, Sagittarius, because they want to be beautifully expressed. And whether it's creating a legacy, whether it's creating a business, whether it's creating a book, whether it's creating something, please let your inner child shine. Your fire heals others when you burn it without being what is that word? Apologetic. When you're not, you don't need to apologize for who you are, Sagittarius. Your joy is you. Your joy is very sacred, and joy brings us a lot of things. Expression brings us a lot of things. Being happy is a very high vibration, because it's like if I'm happy and I want something, let's say, I don't know what you would want, Sagittarius, but let's say, hey, I want to go to Peru or something like that. You want to travel, you want to be somewhere, you will be happy doing that, right? So get in that happiness, like it's already happening. Get in that happiness, because your love is wild, your love is free, and your love is very, very healing, Sagittarius. And you have to understand that, and you have to let it be expressed, and it's fun. Be fun, Sagittarius. Okay, that's all I have for you, and I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn. Hey, Capricorn. So, Capricorn, so let's just say it. You are having this conjunction within your 4th house. This is healing your root. This is healing that inner self, inner peace. The 4th house is the house of our childhood. The 4th house is the house of emotional safety, family, and I think that you are now, this is really touching on those tender parts of your hidden self, because also this is a house of your private self, not hidden. It's the house of your private self, excuse me. So it's the house of you being emotionally stable, how you react to certain things. This is the house of your parents. And I think that it is calling you to reparent yourself. This transit is really calling you to reparent yourself with radical love, with radiant love too. And also forgiving what you didn't get or you didn't receive, and nurturing the parts of yourself that you are still afraid to feel. This is deep ancestral healing, Capricorn, because you are the one who is breaking these emotional patterns of suppression or like hiding your emotions and just going straight after things, or having a mother that was just, or a family that was just very hot and heavy and argumentative and not doing what they should have done as parents, you know what I'm saying, or letting things happen. It is time for you now to make your home your sanctuary. You need to feel safe in being soft. You need to feel safe in being, expressing yourself through crying, if you need to, through release if you need to, through creativity if you need to. You belong in your body. You belong in whatever, let's just say you belong in your body, Capricorn, because this is a house of emotional security, right? And you are an earth sign. So it's like you need to stay, not need to stay, but you have to feel. And I feel like with this conjunction, you will feel very, very, very deeply, and it's criable, Capricorn, but you are healing a lot of raw and ripe, you are ripening in some type of way, Capricorn, because you have to break these focuses on not understanding our emotional security, or how our emotions play a huge part in what we need to do in this world, Capricorn. Especially with your 4th house just being in a fire sign, that's just these quick responses and quick impulsive actions instead of actually feeling it and being okay with it. You know what I'm saying? It almost takes a long time for Capricorn when they get very older, and then they start to experience wow, that actually hurt me, or that's actually affecting me. And now Venus is actually bringing it to the light, and Chiron is bringing it to the light that your childhood security, things that happened in childhood, they affected you throughout life, and it's now time for you to accept them with open arms. Like, yeah, hell yeah, my mom was horrible, or my family was horrible to me, or I've done things I probably shouldn't have done, and that has really affected me through my whole life. How can I reach success like this? And I think that, you know, Venus conjuncting Chiron, I think that it's almost okay to be crying. It's almost okay to feel emotional. It's almost okay to understand that this is still emotional safety. This is still emotional, emotional parts of yourself that make you feel tender, that make you feel, soft, and all. These are still parts of you, but it doesn't have to be met with anger. It isn't an angry thing, really. It's a release thing. It's a liberation. It is finally you can let these things go, and you can now move into the light of who you are, Capricorn. You are someone, let's just say, Saturn is always going to live for a very, very long time. You're going to live for a very, very long time. And now it's time for you to reparent yourself and give yourself the things that you didn't have, the love that you didn't have. It is okay to be soft. Trust me, we all need a hug. And Capricorn, you probably needed a hug instead of someone screaming and beating you, right? Or you probably needed just a pat on the back, or a rub on the back, even a rub on the head, Capricorn, than what you did get. But that's why it's important for you to give it to yourself, because sometimes with Capricorn, you not really understand everything that has happened to you until you truly get a little bit older in life, go through your Saturn return and all that stuff. And then you start to see, like, this has affected a lot of things in my mind and my emotional body. If I was able to release them, able to cry it out, able to come to some type of acceptance, I would be okay. I would be more than okay. I am okay. You don't need to, like, Capricorn, you are okay. But it's like the places that you are, you have to make it your sanctuary. Give things to yourself that you didn't have before, as though, like, creating altars for yourself, or creating altars for your family, or your ancestry, creating altars of healing, create altars of wealth, abundance. Like, start tapping into your emotional body in some type of way. You have to feel, Capricorn. And yes, that's very, very hard, because you're feeling at the root. This is one that's, very, very, this is like your origin story, if that makes sense, Capricorn. And it's really going back lineages to, that your mother and your father's anger, and then going back them, and then you seeing why you're that way, right? But you don't have to stay that way. They were that way to teach you something about yourself. And this is going to be great for you, Capricorn, truly, because you are starting to really understand that you belong in your body, you belong in this world, and you belong in the safety of your own soft heart and your own softness, Capricorn. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Capricorn. Aquarius. So Aquarius, you are experiencing this conjunction in your natal third house. And this is obviously the house of the voice. Not the house of the voice. This is the house of communication. This is the house where we are talking to our siblings, right? This is a house of words, in my opinion. And I feel as though you are now understanding that words have wounds, and words also can heal, and words will heal. Let's just say that. I mean, with Saturn going into the third house as well, you will understand that. And even if you may have been silenced, Aquarius, if you may have been misunderstood, you may have been judged for speaking your truth, this transit is going to allow you to activate parts of yourself that's actually healing in how you think. It's healing in how you write, how you speak, how you listen to others, how you communicate with others. Venus wants to make your voice like very poetic again, very beautiful, very magnetizing and sincere. And these are very, very necessary. And even your voice is very, very necessary, Aquarius, as well. It is, and it will be, when it comes to speaking to your community, speaking to your own mindset, having communication within your own mental formula. What are you saying? And, because Aquarius, people call you out of the ordinary, weird, or anything of, that nature that makes you, redirect what you're actually saying, because Aquarius speaks from the future. They know what's happening way, way past what people are experiencing right now. And so if people have told you, like, you're not intelligent, or they're told you like you're an oddball, or you're something like that, you have to really start to see that you don't have to internalize that. Like, you don't have, what is that word? You don't have to internalize the pain anymore. You don't have to hold those things in as something to like use it as fuel. Like, I'm gonna prove. No, you actually don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. You can speak it, you can sing it, you can say it, you can write it in, you're gonna be heard. Especially with Saturn going into the third house as well. You're definitely gonna be heard because your voice is mattering. It's always mattered, right? And Saturn is your traditional ruler, right? And so it's like your voice is a bridge between pain, healing, suffering even, but most importantly, healing, revealing the truth. You will be heard this next 3 years, and Maputo being in your sign as well. You will be heard. You will speak a lot of things. You will have a lot of insights. You will become so much different, Aquarius, within these next 20 years. Your thoughts, you're the next thought leader, let's just say that. And the things that you say and do now hold so much power. And now, on the first, you will start to feel as though, yes, my words definitely do hold power. They've always held power. I just have to learn how to say them. I have to learn how to write them. I have to learn how to make other people understand, because they are of this world. You are not Aquarius, right? It's like learning how to speak so other people can understand you and not just speaking. And with Saturn going into your sign, I do think that you will start to not hold pain inside anymore. You will start to just speak, but speak with intelligence, speak with integrity and a purpose. And that's always great for you, Aquarius, because the thing that you have to say, or thing that you will be saying, will be uncovering and revealing so many different parts of yourself, parts of other people, parts of our consciousness that honestly needs to change like yesterday. And you are the start of it. I'm so happy for this, Aquarius. And I'm so happy for you to see this within yourself as well, within your own voice, right? Speaking your truth and not being judged for it. I mean, judge your mom. Like, pray Aquarius, judge your mom, don't judge me. But you are now getting more serious about the things that you say and how you approach certain conversations with people, and how you deliver your message, Aquarius, right? And so that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Hey, Pisces. I always get very excited when I get to Pisces. Hey, Pisces. So Pisces, we are experiencing this conjunction within our second house, natal second house. And this is healing our wounds to self-worth, self-empowerment, legacy, even, the voice, the things that we say, how we feel about ourselves, how we look. The second house is the house of the face as well. And, with Saturn going in there recently, but also Chiron being in there recently, it can be like your teeth, things on your face that have adjusted over the past couple of years, and it's really hard to accept those certain things about yourself now. And now that Chiron and Venus are coming into conjunction, this is really touching on how you value yourself, your monies, your body image, your face, your self-esteem. And this can be old wounds, like I said, Chiron has been here for a minute. So you could be carrying old wounds that have to do with family legacy, that have to do with, not measuring up to certain things. You are worthy of what you are worthy of, if that makes sense, or what you say you're worthy of. And you need to not base your worth off of your image, and not base your worth off of how much you can do or how much you can physically get done, if that makes sense. Like, if I don't like something, I just have to physically change it. Usually with you Pisces, everything is very internal, very hidden, very spiritual. So there are parts of yourself that you must unlock, or you must remember about yourself, that are sacred. And, it's really hard to do that in a physical realm. But for you, Pisces, you have to incorporate certain practices that help you connect more with who you are truly on the inside, your own value systems, because your value systems are based off of usually spirituality, usually things like that other people do not measure theirs off of, right? But you have to be really willing to not negotiate your value, to not negotiate the things that you deserve. You deserve to receive just like the next person. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter what you lost. It doesn't matter about any of that. You deserve to thrive. You're not broken. You are becoming into your own sense of identity. You are never broken. The only parts of yourself that was broken are the parts of yourself that you neglected to heal. And now that you are healing, Saturn leaving your sign as well, like, hey, you better boss up. Gave you a backbone, Pisces. Gave you a backbone to now see, wait, these are my shadows, and I must start facing them in order to release them and get rid of them. And I think that you have to honor your worth. Honoring your worth is sacred, and it must not be shaked up by what other people think about you and what other people are projecting onto you. And it is time for you to remember your value, that it is not negotiable once again, and you are not broken. You are becoming who you are. And, Saturn will go back into your sign, a little bit later in the year, and I feel like it's still going to go over the same story of like, hey, you better do this. You better have self-worth within yourself, because Saturn is not going to move on. Well, it is going to move on, obviously, but you're not going to be able to move on if you do not feel as though your energy is sacred. You are sacred. The thing that you say in value, your own image was literally godly and divinely made, for yourself, for the next person. Loving your own image and loving yourself is very difficult. It can be very difficult, but when you learn to do it, you are unstoppable. When you learn to do it, you receive so much. You receive so much more because you deserve that. You deserve to receive so much more. And our physical vessels and physical empowerment is very important, obviously, but there's a certain extent that we can do. We are going to age in some type of way. We are going to look different, even though I believe that I'm going to stay looking 21 for my whole life. I can choose to believe that because that is my value system. I'm not going to let anyone tell me that that is not possible. And that's the thing, Pisces. A lot of people have told you things weren't possible that are possible. There's no such thing as being impossible. It's only a such thing as becoming who you are in demanding. And I won't say demanding. I'm going to say demanding, but you know what I mean when I say demanding that you deserve more, asking for more, standing with your 2 feet down. No, I'm not going to allow you to tell me who I am or change my perspective or change the way or put up this illusion to me. Saturn has broken all of these things. Even Neptune moving out of your sign has broken all of these things for you. You now see that, wow, you were the sacred one all along, and that the age of Pisces has truly begun, and now it's time for you to truly stop. Like, you're untouched. Let's just say that your energy is untouched. Your spirituality is untouched. The thing that you have created is untouchable. No one can touch you unless you allow them to put their hand out and touch you. And, Pisces, I really want to stress on the fact that, with Venus being in your second house, be careful what you put in your mouth. Be careful what you eat. Saturn is actually going to change the things that you put in your mouth, the things you say, and all of that stuff. And I just want you to say that. I just want to say that your energy is very untouchable. Who you are, your auric field is very untouchable. And it's really time for you to start believing in the spiritual aspects of yourself in order to raise yourself up physically. Okay? And you, of course, Saturn going into the second house, that is, that's a whole different story. Definitely go and watch the video on Saturn going into Aries. But it's just a whole different story where it's like, you deserve what you say you deserve, and you're going to get exactly what you say that you're going to get, and you need to be exactly who you say that you are, Pisces. And that's just that. You are untouchable. You deserve to receive, and you are not broken, and you deserve to thrive, and thrive some more through your own creativity, through your own sense of self, your own sense of identity, and your own sense of what you can physically do to make things happen, okay? But also spirituality comes first. The spiritual realm comes first, and then the physical realm comes first. Feel as though you are deserving, believe as though you are deserving, act as though you are deserving, and then you will be deserving, Pisces. Okay, love you. I'll see you guys in the next video. So that's all I have for you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. by Pisces. If you are new to my channel, I am Fairy Goddess Cody. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm so happy that you're here. If you enjoyed this video, please try to send it to someone else. Maybe they can find it useful or helpful, and I would love you, because that is what I want to do this year, next year, all the years to come, is grow my YouTube channel and help everyone out when it comes to astrology, self-discovery, self-empowerment, and also self-mastery. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.